What's up, people? It's the kid L.R.Player here, bringing you interviews from the community, topics from the community, and my guest here is special in like all type of ways. She bring you the dance flavor. She bring you like all the choreography that she mix into her routine. She bring you tutorials, and she also just tried to teach you how to be creative with your jump rope style. So introducing my friend, hailed from Dallas, Miss Barbara, aka Rope Jumpers.
Hello. Hey, Larry, how are you?
How you doing, Miss? How you doing?
Good, good, great. Cannot be better. I love that you're doing this. Truly.
I think it's just like, and I know I keep repeating myself when I say this, but I think it's one of those things I think this community missing. Um, More interviews with more people inside the community. I mean, like you got rope brands, you got people sponsoring apparels and all that, and I just think this just one of those avenues that we're missing, and so.
I I totally agree. I think it's kind of like you want to also meet the person behind the rope and how like what different personalities or how it makes them like fit into the rope style and all that. So I think it's really nice to have that also that conversation besides jumping, you know.
Right, yeah, I try to mix it up. I try to mix it up with that. So speaking of jumping, why don't you tell us about your jump rope origins?
My jump rope origins. I am a jump rope enthusiast. I started, or we're called the quarantine jumpers, I guess. I started in 2020. Back in March, I was dancing. I love to dance. I was a dancer all my life, and life just threw a curveball called COVID. And of course, the first thing that went out was the dance studios because you're sweating. It's a indoor space, so that's the first thing that is shut. So I wanted to come up with something that I could still have fun, but still be in a workout because dancing it's such a like an intense cardio workout. So I was kind of like looking for something. And my husband actually he likes to do like boxing, so their warm up is normally a jump rope. So I or a jumping rope, and I saw him and I'm like, I wonder how many calories you can burn jumping rope because I don't have any equipment. I don't have any tools. Like gym equipment was like flying in COVID. Like people just, everyone was getting their own personal gym, home
Right.
gym. So like I was like, okay, how many calories can I burn jumping rope? That's all. Like I guess it started as a workout. I didn't even knew about the community and or the fun part of it, like how you can learn all these new tricks. So I was like, well, may just grab, and I grabbed the horrible, like the worst rope ever. It was the foamy type that has like inside. I don't know why they're foamy outside and the actual handle is inside. And I that's how my journey started. It was back in March 2020. Yep.
You had the sweat proof jump rope.
I did. I did. It was like the $5 one from Walmart. I totally did. And I even like took that part out at some point before even knowing about handles are that way. Like I even took that part out because it broke and I was like, well, now I have to use the inside part. And that's actually how the ropes are. Like that the little stick is not the whole thing
Right.
on top of it.
It's funny. I had when I started, I had the it was a Nike rope, but I'm gonna say it was cheap because the handle was kind of weighted, but the rope itself was like it felt like a 3 millimeter. Then it had like a ball bearing where the rope go through. So when I was jumping, I just thought I was just terrible. I couldn't get a crossover. I couldn't, and I didn't like you. Like there's a lot of things I didn't know about, like the feel of the rope or um, I, it being a weighted rope. I didn't know the rope part was supposed to be weighted instead of the handle part. So I didn't
Right.
have no feels or nothing like that. It's
Oh my
funny. I still got that rope around here someday. I mean, around here somewhere, and I look at it and I just laugh at myself. Like,
yeah, I think I threw mine. I was like, you're done. Like I broke it. And same thing, like you said, like I was like, why? Like now that I started, I think the first persons that I like started following, even on my personal account, was Kathy Jumps
Mm-hmm.
and Sue. And I guess I was like, why I cannot get the trick? Like they're doing such amazing like crosses, not even like big tricks, but like the crosses, the sides. I'm like, I think it may be the rope. Like I think it's just the rope is not letting me do it. And jump coach Chris came into all my page, and I bought the first like actual beaded rope was from him. And I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
On. There's actually you can actually do things. It depends also on the rope, not only on your drilling, right? But I don't know. It was I threw my original. I was like, get out of here.
It's funny because like these ropes almost ended a career that before I even jumped off because it just made me feel like I was terrible.
I agree. I agree. It's like that split decision when you're like, I'm maybe not good at this. I'm just gonna throw the towel. Yeah, I got that same feeling.
So as you went along in your jump rope journey, you start I ain't gonna say develop, but like start using more different type of ropes. Like you got your beaded. I know you like your weighted rope.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I saw you mostly with a PVC.
I use it for speed combos. Like I like specifically combos that I really want to get that beat in, and it's a fast BPM. But I would normally use beaded. I don't show much lately about my weighted, but I do warm up with the weighted ropes. Like it's just regular like jumping. I do like 5-10 minutes just to get that like hard pace going. But yeah, I actually normally use beaded. Because the releases are better, the wraps are better, the feedback is really good. So I've been lately using like exclusively Beat It, but I actually started like how my journey started right after that. Right after I bought my first Beat It rope from Jump Coach Chris, I bought my first weighted ropes from Cross Ropes, and that included the a freestyle PVC
Right.
and I just went all out. I didn't do the lean set. I do the heavy set, the 2 pound, 1 pound, the 2 pound and 1 pound. So that's where, like, I guess a whole new world was about to be explored. I was like, okay, I didn't even knew we had weighted ropes. I didn't knew like it, like the mechanism of it. Like it's just everything. And I even got them for my birthday that September. So it was
Oh,
like
nice.
started in March, failed miserably with the foamy rope for a couple of months. Through that one, got the jump rope, Chris, and then got uh, my weighted ropes, and it was a whole like I was just at that point. I think I was just a kid. I never jump rope as a kid. I did the other one, like the skip hop. I think it's called, where you like throw your leg
The
and
one thing around your leg and you
yeah.
just yeah, I do
I
remember
did
that.
that one a lot, and I we did like homemade ones, like rock, Ziploc, throw it. Like we did like homemade ones, and then the really cool ones with the lighted things and all that.
And the counter on it.
But
Yeah, I do remember that one.
but I never actually jump rope as a kid, so I guess that was like my moment where I was feeling a kid again and being like, there's so much things you can do. And I remember Coach Chris uploaded a meme, which I thought it was fantastic because it was how I was feeling. There's like a ferret. I don't know if it's a ferret or a cat, but they throw like 200 balls at it, and he goes like this, like I didn't know which ball to catch. That's how I felt. Like jump rope community, look at all these tricks, look at all these things. And I'm just like, I love it, I love it. Like I love them all, but how can I cannot grasp. Like it was just I felt like a kid again. Like that was the most important, I guess, part of my journey where you know that it's so versatile. Like you can do so many tricks, so many things, and just have fun with it, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was September 2020 when I got my first weighted ropes. Yeah.
So and I this is a question I ask myself a lot. So as you progress and and going along in your journey, do you recall or do you remember like the exact or what almost the exact moment where you kind of like you went from beginner to intermediate? Like, do you remember that moment or
I think for me was mostly. mostly like from my personal page jumping into a jump rope page,
Right.
and knowing that I was not your typical jumper. Like I was not only doing open jumps. So it's when I think it was mainly, and that took me a year. The MIG release for me, everyone's like it's a level one. I don't consider it a level one. I think it's a really big trick to try and do. So I was trying the MIG release. I was starting to try some EB jumps, and I remember I was like, okay, I think I'm like comfortable enough to start an account, because of course I was like, my friends or my family in my personal account, they're probably like, I annoy them, like they're probably just sick of me of like just jumping and jumping. And I
Right.
found out like Kathy, it was all these communities, so I was like, I'm gonna start my own account. And I think that's where I felt like, I think I'm at a point where I could do a video and I will, it will be okay. Like it's not, I'm not starting from scratch, if that makes sense. So I
Right.
think that was like a super like a point in my life where I was like, I'm not your regular jumper. I can do other things, not just open jumps. Like I can do a double under. Um, so whenever I started my account, of course, the people who I appreciate so much, my first 10 followers, which was probably five, my family. My mom was like two of those. She she opened like another account
Right.
to just like follow me. Um, but I like they were commenting like, oh my God, like you're so good. And on like, to be honest, I wasn't. It was just that I was barely starting. It was not what I do right now, but I knew I was not the typical jumper. So I knew this was gonna go somewhere. I hope that
Right.
makes sense.
No,
What
that
about
made
you,
perfect sense.
Larry? What about you? Where do you felt like it was, that point?
Well, it's the same with you. Like I was very much a beginner, and when I put down that cheap Nike rope and I picked up the Legacy rope, because like I was kind of frail at the time, skinny at the time, so I just wanted to like have more endurance and more stamina. Cause I didn't have weight to lose, so I didn't needed a speed rope. So I just started doing with that, and with me, people told me I played the game on superstar mode, which mean like I took the hard route. Like every trick that I learned, it was with the heavy rope, and it
Yeah,
just took a lot out of me just learning that. And so when I just started, I think is when I started doing double unders, and I can get up to like maybe like 25 without getting tired. I knew there was something. And just like you, like I was still in my beginning stage, just doing like fast running crossovers, some
yeah,
double unders, and
exactly.
people like, dude, you was good. And but I knew I wasn't that good. I was okay, but I knew I wasn't that good. And like at the time in my beginning, you didn't know you was comparing yourself to other people, but
Yeah,
you was. And so that's how I was knew that I wasn't good enough, good at the time, because I was watching people that was way better than me.
I totally agree. I totally agree. It's like there's better, and you still do. Like I still do. I'm really humbled. We actually had our jump rope meetup here in Dallas on Saturday, and funny story, a guy just walked by. We were in a really good spot where people were like pedestrians were just like walking. A
Hmm.
guy come by. He's like, "Hey, do you guys do jump rope meetups?" And we're like, "Yeah, like once every 2 months or something." And he's like, "Can I grab a rope?" I'm like, "Sure." And I felt so silly because I go next to him and I'm like, some people do footwork, some people do tricks, make sure your handles are in your hips, like trying to be coachy. And he started pulling like TJs, like nothing, and hummingbirds. And I'm like, is this a prank? Like, who are
You
you?
know what? Hold up. I think you showed us a clip of that.
Yes. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
okay.
who are you? And then he goes, I used to do competitive jump rope. So it's kind of like we were all so humbled because at that point it's like I asked him like, when was the last time you jump? And he's like, 2008 was when I last like did the competitive. And I was like, it's crazy how you feel you have a certain level of good,
Right.
but then someone comes in and just like drops it, like just like does something that hasn't done in years, just like that, like riding a bicycle. It's like TJ and Hummingbird and
Right.
principal multiples. I'm like, oh my God. So I think you will always know there's someone way better.
Right.
Um, but then that's where I guess these genres start like kind of like almost like roots. Like what is your forte? What do you like doing? What do you some people what they do is like double unders and they try to beat their personal record, their PR, and it's they're doing 100 and they're doing 200. I could never
Right.
do that. Like I'm not a double under person. I can do double unders. I don't think I can pull more than 20, to be honest, or more than 30.
Right.
Like it's not what I like to do. But then I think whenever those roots start to like spread, like I can do footwork and then I can incorporate this type of dance or I can do this or that, is what makes you you. It's like,
Right.
Larry, you work a lot with heavy ropes. You're such a powerful jumper. And it's like that's your thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yep.
it's kind of cool to see you excel in what you love doing instead of, and it's also so much fun to see you try new things, but at the same time it's like we always would love you doing powerful jumps and powerful tricks and like with weighted ropes, like it's kind of your thing, you know what I
Right.
mean? But anyways, this guy, yeah, just completely humbled us. Brian Dibbles is his name. If you want to search him out, he's a non-competitive now, but he used to do competitive jumping. But yeah, it's just part of that, like, there's someone better, but then you can excel at something else. It's so
Right.
like rope is so versatile. It's like you can do tricks, you can be a leg cross queen or king, and that's awesome. Like I couldn't do more than 3 leg crosses in a row, but like I know Maddie or Tin, like they're amazing at leg crosses, and
Right.
like KK, like they're so good, and I love that. Like I love that each one rope can give you that versatility.
It's just like it's
Remember.
just like a highway, and there's like so many exits that you can take.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly it. That's crazy. And I think part of part of how I found out where my exit was going to be is I am a dancer. I've always been a dancer, and what really, I guess, like what really bummed me out of COVID was that I was not going to be able to dance anymore. And whenever I started doing jump roping, and people were like, "Oh my God, you're so good," my good is the fact that I was a dancer. Like
Right.
there's some history that I've been dancing since 3 years or 10 years old. So it's kind of like, okay, how can I grab that niche of dance and jumping? How can I put them together? Because at the end of the day, what I miss most doing is dancing. But if I incorporate a rope into the dance that I was already doing, then I make it more fun for me. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, and so that was leading up to my next question about like, so you kind of like into the realm of shuffling. So
Mhm.
shuffling and you got your choreography dancing. They kind of go hand in hand. So
I
did
agree.
you how did you feel like when you was starting to incorporate both of those together in your routine?
So I'll tell you, there was one TikTok combo that I did that involved shuffling, and it was my first, I guess, dancey combo. Testing the waters. I did a Lauren Jumps combo. I even remember it was a tap 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 tap. That's da 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 da. Like I didn't remember the song. I think I even remember the dance, and I'm talking about probably October, like 2020. But I remember like trying to do it, and it took me so much to do it because I was like, I know how to shuffle. I don't know how to shuffle with the rope. Like it's so, even if it's the same thing, the rhythm that you have to have in order to pass the rope before going into
Mm-hmm.
straddle, like people don't realize it takes a lot of coordination. And maybe some people may be like, it's so hard, I cannot do it. It's like it is hard. It's just that jumpers make it look easy, but that does not mean that it's not a hard thing. Any move, any trick. So it's kind of like I did that combo. I failed miserably. I tried again the next day, and after like 200 times, I ended up doing it. I didn't even love it. Like I knew I knew I could do more as a dancer. It's just that the rope was in the way, basically.
Right.
So what I started doing was what we call now commercial breaks. I will start like I would put random music and I would just start freestyling to it. That does not mean like a whole combo, but like I would just start like moving my body. And I started feeling the rope way different whenever I was relaxed and moving my body. So that's where the whole like once I was able to land some tricks or some raps or feeling more comfortable around those, it was easier for me to dance around the rope instead of just having the rope be, like instead of being, it was a tool instead of being like something just that it was on my way. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
now that I feel comfortable doing this type of rap, I can incorporate it. But if I create some angles, which I love doing on dance,
Right.
then I can make it work. And that's where it's like it was this niche of like dance rope that I was like, a lot of people are not doing this. Why are we not doing this? This is so much fun. And I do think there's a difference, like, and I talked with Nick about it, Nick Woodard, which he's amazing. I
Right.
said, he said, you guys made jump rope relatable, like the enthusiast, the quarantine jumpers, because he's like, I come from a competitive world. So you guys made it relatable on Instagram. Like everybody could try a rope. Everybody could just try, like go and try one.
Hmm.
And he's like, and I really appreciate it. But then I said, well, Nick, but then you guys showed us how it's done. Like even if we try shuffling or like they were doing these amazing tricks that you can incorporate in the shuffles, in the combo, and still make it look cool. And it was thanks to them, right?
Right.
So I think, I don't know, I think like the whole dance part of myself that really wanted to dance had to incorporate the rope on tricks, on raps, on anything to be able to keep that dance part of me, if that makes sense.
Total sense. And then it also kind of like that is like you tell me like the heavy rope is my thing, like the choreography, the dance, and the rope. That's your thing, and I have tried some of your moves sometime when you post like little tutorials. And they do. And to be honest, like I can't dance. I can dance, but I'm not like on your level. So those them little small tutorials that you had, like those are quite difficult for me. But
And
it's enjoyable though because like I like to try different things with the rope
yes,
myself. Do you follow Eddie jump rope or Eddie jumps, something like
yes,
that?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Maybe jumps. I think it's
So
jumps. Yeah.
yeah, I put both of y'all in that same bracket.
I think I think difference between like dancing with a rope and like and this comes from like if you think about like competitive versus like us quarantine jumpers. I think whenever I started seeing like TikTok dances blast off on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that I was mad, but I was like, that's not dancing. Like, what is this? Like that fast, you're not dancing. But they brought the dance world in TikTok. So I was actually appreciative. Like now that they made it relatable, like you can learn a TikTok dance and you're
Mm-hmm.
not a dancer, but you're still dancing.
Right.
And I think it falls in the same thing. Like I know some of my choreography may look difficult and may be difficult, but I know that it's part of that. Like we made it relatable with the rope, and sometimes that's why I do the tutorials because I'm like, I want you guys to feel that you can do it. You can do it like way like slower pace with another song. It's just that it is possible if you keep drilling and feel comfortable with it. You don't have to be a dancer and you don't have to do it like me, but I think like it's kind of fun to see that people try, and whenever they try they do and they excel, and you see my choreography on them but like they made it their own, and I love it because I'm
Right.
like it's on their, like they did it with their own angles, terms, They added a new trick, they added something different, the turn was the other way, but it works. And I think, I don't know, but whenever I'm dancing, I'm happy. Like endorphins just kick in. So it's kind of like, I've always said this, like whenever you're drilling, it becomes frustrated, right? Because like
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to nail one trick that is just not happening. So what I do is I set that trick aside. I try one that I already know makes me happy,
Right.
come back to that trick because I'm happy again. If you're like in a frustrated like mind, it's not gonna work, and you're gonna be more frustrated. You're gonna throw the rope. I've cried in the corner, like I've done that. I've been whipped so hard that I wanted to vomit. Like it is what it is. But then take it aside, work on something else, come back whenever you're in a way better peace of mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what dance does to me. So I was like, if people can learn this dance, they're gonna have fun because at the end of the day, whenever they see their own result, it's like it looks so cool. Like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's a fun workout.
Oh, it is. And then you starting to add like dance only content into your jump rope page.
I did. I was actually scared of that, believe it or not. And again, dance is what I do. Dance is what I'm comfortable. That's my like dance is comfortable. Jump rope is not.
Right.
Uh, and I was kind of scared because I was like, I haven't danced in a while, and then I took a master class on Sunday, and I was so scared and so nervous because I haven't danced since COVID, like in a studio, and it's
Mm-hmm.
a whole different vibe. Um, but that's at that point where I was like, I don't know if I should add dance Fridays because I don't want people to, how do I explain this? Like, I don't want to feel myself that I'm not the dancer that I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more content related, but like when you dance alone, it's not as impactful. Sounds horrible, but it is what it is. Like
Right.
whenever you're dancing with more people, it makes it like that move makes it way more impactful. So I had to rely on like effects, the bouncy type of like effects,
Right.
the zoom in, zoom out. Like I have to rely on things to make it more impactful, that move, instead of trying it like
Like,
without it. Yeah.
yeah.
So I was scared. I was like, and then I started like seeing the positive side of it where, followers were like, I cannot wait for Dance Friday. So I'm like, okay, like I'm glad it's something that you guys are wanting to see. Like, because at the end of the day, it is my journey. You're coming along to my journey. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, of course, at the same time, I want you guys to see and have fun. At the end of the day, have fun seeing things because we are not only content creators, but we're watchers as well for other people.
Right.
And it's always what makes you like engage. You knew was a good video. More now that people don't engage as much as 2020, where we had
Right.
nothing to do, everyone was in their house, so
Right.
everyone was just like commenting like crazy. But now it's like if they commented like, "Oh my god, I love it," you know that it was engaged. Like it
Right.
was an engagement. It was a
Like
good.
you was like it was you own to something.
Yes, yes, and I think, I mean, I don't know what you think, Larry, but I think those comments like are way more meaningful now than what it was like in 2020. Again, I'm so grateful, but maybe like because people were just watching videos all the time, but now it comes to a point where the engagement is not there as it was.
Right.
So I'm really appreciative of the people that comment because it's like, okay, like you took 10 seconds, but like normally you wouldn't. So that's so awesome that you are here and commenting.
Yeah, you know what? Kind of think about it, and you just brought me to a realization. Realization. Back then, like we all had that time to be on the phones and view content from like between 15 to like 25 to like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
and to comment. And then nowadays, since like almost everything went back to normal, people lives went back to normal, everybody busy, so the engagement isn't there. But like you say, you still appreciative that like you still get like some response, especially from your peers. Like it's cool
Yeah.
to get it from somebody that you normally don't chat with, but like to still get it from your peers that like know you for you.
Right.
Yeah, I get a kick out of that. I
I
get a
agree.
kick out of
I
that.
agree. you even get like the most unique comments with people you already know, because they're not gonna comment like, "Oh, I love it, thank you." It's like
Yeah, there's some kind of
intelligent
banter.
something.
I'm notorious for that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, and that's where I love that you're doing this. It's just like we need to bring the community back. Whenever we were in COVID, a bunch of us were just in the house and jumping, and I even remember I used to jump like 2 hours a day because there was nothing else to do.
Right.
And I wish I could have those 2 hours again, but now I have soccer practice and baseball and my kids, and I still, whenever I was in COVID, I got laid off, so I wasn't working. So
Hmm.
now I'm working. So it's kind of like a whole, I don't know, a whole different journey. But like whenever we were in COVID, I used to do more jump roping, like
Right.
not content. Like I used to jump more, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And so it was kind of nice to have the world stop for a second and do that for as long as we did. But now that everyone is just out and about in their life, like I am, it's hard to watch the videos that you used to. So it's kind of nice to see your peers still like commenting and supporting you, because at the end of the day, y- there's a saying that it's like, I'm not competing against anyone. Like I hope we all win, right? It's like I really
Right.
hope we just all go through this journey together instead of competing.
Oh, excuse me. Um, so this question here, like, and this involved myself, like I kind of like get a kick out of everybody showing more of themselves, like how you incorporate your past life with dancing into your jump rope. I'm starting to show like new things that I'm trying with, like exercise and box jumps, weights, whatever you see me do. You see more people incorporating more fitness into their jump rope page. Like it's like one of the things I was telling people that like jump rope kinda introduce people to other form of fitness, or sometimes it's vice versa, other form of fitness introduce people to jump rope. Like
Mhm.
how do you like the joy seeing things like that? It's kind of like people showing more of their personal self on their jump rope page, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, yes, I think so. In my own personal journey, I stopped doing the 2 hour jump rope every day, and I actually felt that I was not having the endurance that I used to have whenever I was back in 2020. So I'm actually back now to doing HIIT exercises with I don't know if you heard about him, but it's his name is Sean T. He
Yeah.
does max 30 workouts and insanity and all this. And at that, like I just started a month and a half ago, and it was because of that. I was like, okay, I cannot jump, like I cannot jump 2 hours because we have this practice and that, but I can jump for 40 minutes, and the max out 30 sessions are 30. So at least I know I need to have my 30 minutes, and then I'll jump rope, because I know with jump rope, if you have time, like if you're on a Sunday night, a Sunday morning, and there's no one, like there's no activity, you can stay there for 2 hours. Like it's,
Right.
you're not realizing how much fun you're having. So I think whenever I started that, my endurance started to kick off, and my big jump started to like come back, and my weighted ropes warm up started to be longer. So I think it's like on my personal journey, it's so awesome to see that several exercises can feed off each other. And I love seeing that on other people, like seeing, hey, like let's do push-ups, or Mana, like she does, like besides her double under journey, like she does gym, she does push-ups, she does all these things. And um, Marie, like I've seen so many. That's my kid. Give me like 2 seconds.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyways, I think like it's so cool that certain exercise can feed off each other. And I think the main reason that I guess connects us with exercise is, like I said, endorphins, is because you know what it feels to be high on endorphins. Like you know that high, and then you know the results. And I'm not talking about like losing weight or just It can be on jump rope, like the results of drilling something for so long that you finally did it,
Mm-hmm.
and the results from any like weight exercise, heat exercise, that you are finally to do 5 push-ups instead of one. So it's kind of like, that high.
It's that feeling that your body can do this or move like this. That's
Still,
why I kind of get out of it.
yeah, yeah, that, yeah, same, same. It's not, for me, it's not about like losing weight or feeling ripped. It's about what your body can do. Like, I just turned 36, and I'm like, I cannot believe that at 36 I'm still able to jump the way that I want to jump. There's going to be a time where I'm not going to be able to do all those crazy jumps, but I still can do it
Right.
at 36. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, same with me. Like I'm 41 and I'm still like athletic.
yes, yes,
And
exactly.
so I try not to push the limit to it, but I try to get close to that line as possible
Yeah, no,
before. Yeah.
I agree. I was actually going to ask you, Larry, like, what is not about like even moving your body, but also like feeling that you can do more, like on your under your double under weighted ropes, or on your weighted ropes, because people that don't have weighted ropes don't understand how hard it is to move those ropes if you have never jumped before. Like, I remember that first time whenever I threw the 2 pound, and I was like, no way, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, this is just like my body just moved all the way. So to be able to do a double under with the 2 pound, it's such a milestone.
Yes. What I learned from that is that you're gonna have to incorporate or be in connection with a lot of muscles in your body. Like with the speed rope, you got your forearms and you got your wrists.
Hmm.
It's and I mean, of course, you jumping, so you got your legs, but you really don't have to jump high. But with like the weighted rope, you
Yeah.
got like you really ain't got wrists. You got forearms. You got your lats. You
Your
got your core,
back.
and then yes, your upper back, and then you got your calves because you the rope is thicker, so you really gonna have to keep bounding like a certain
Mhm.
height to get under the rope. So with that throwing around the heavy rope, it just taught me that I really need to be in connection with a lot of muscles in my body.
I could not agree more. I think a weighted rope humbles you whenever you start your journey with weighted ropes. Whenever I first started, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to jump one, like I'm doing a horrible form, like it's not even. And then the which I haven't tried again, but like the I guess the high point on weighted ropes for me was able to do a double under with the 2 pound, and it was I remember I was so excited, but at the same time I was like, people don't who doesn't do weighted don't understand the strength you need to pull this off. Like, it's because again, like you said, we're talking about like pounding that rope, and it's almost that same exercise that like CrossFitters do with the ropes.
A battle
Like,
rope, yeah,
the muscles like engage, like is that exact same is because like you said, with speed rope you have your forearms, you still are working muscles, but it's more of a cardio um,
right.
exercise. But when you're doing weighted, even if 2 pounds doesn't sound like like nothing, like trying to whip that constantly into an
Yeah,
exercise, it's a,
it's funny. 2 pounds do sound nothing until they have it in their
it's
hands.
not, if you put like 2 pounds on weight here, it sounds nothing. Like I
Right,
do 8 pounds, like it sounds nothing, but trying to like whip it while jumping, it's a
it's a
whole
whole
nother
nother
story.
ball game.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Are you into other type of fitness besides your hit and your dancing and the rope?
Besides my dancing, I actually I do sometimes do a lot of like yoga and like stretch,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. I love to kind of like reset my body to like, we're not jumping, we're not doing anything today, we're just stretching. I feel that stretching is super vital to not only like executing big jumps and all that, but just like landing your jumps, because there's one thing, whenever you're jumping rope normally, you're what, like 2 inches above ground.
Right.
Whenever you're like doing multiples, you're like truly out there, really high. So just stretching, your shins, your calves, your Achilles, like all the part of the leg that is going to help you achieve that. But no, that's mainly what I do is dance. I'm doing this hit workout and I jump rope. That's what makes me happy.
Nice. So what's next for rope jumpers?
So next, I've been telling you guys for a whole year, and I feel so bad because it's been a whole year. But I did some online classes. I pre-recorded 5 classes of dance rope, and this is not. So my what I'm doing is it's a 40-minute class, but the first 20 minutes we're just dancing. There's no rope involved. And the next 20, we're adding a rope to the dance you just did. Because I want people to understand that in order to add the rope to the dance, you have to learn the dance first.
Right.
And whenever I'm doing my dance ropes, I normally start dancing first. Like I start freestyling, I start doing something, and then I'm like, oh, that will actually look really cool with a rope. And then I'll do a trick with the rope. But what I did on these videos was just like mainly dance. So that way, if people don't know how to jump rope, don't worry about it. You just learn a dance the first 20 minutes. Whenever you're ready to start your jump rope journey, then you do the whole 40. But it's like basically dance classes plus adding a rope to it. And then I'm showing the results at the end, but I'm following you through this journey. Like I'm telling you how to do it. I'm teaching you through it. So it's kind of like, again, this niche that people really want to achieve. Like they love how it looks, the dance and the rope. They just really want to know how it works, and
Right.
I'm trying to show them how it works. But I haven't been able to release them yet because I'm working on my website. I have some people working on it. So as soon as that release, I'll let you guys know. But that's what I want to do is if this goes really well, the dance rope online videos, that's what I'm like aiming for. Like just do dance rope videos.
Well, I ain't gonna say if. I'm gonna say it will do well. That's how much confidence we got in you, Bart.
Oh my lord, thank you. The world is in my shoulders. The dance world is in my shoulders. And I think mainly because, well, and I'm also doing on this 5, this is a test right now because it was also my first time teaching in English, which sounds so silly, but my first language is Spanish. So it's so different, right? So I was also nervous. You're probably gonna see me on the videos like stuttering and all the fillers, yes, it's fine. It's also part of my journey as a
Right.
new dance rope teacher, hopefully. So what I want to do is I did 5 videos. I did some beginner, some intermediate, some advanced. Because mainly the main one question I get whenever I or comment whenever I do those are, girl, I don't know how you do that. Like I don't know how you did that. Like that's I love it, but if I do that, I'm gonna whip myself. And I'm trying to show you like no you won't. Like it's if you do a beginner one, I promise you, and you follow the steps, and because it's an online class and you pay for that class,
Right.
you can go back. You can just go repeat, 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 repeat until you get it. You don't have to screenshot anything like I do. Anytime
Right.
I rap, I'm like, what did she do? Hold on, let me screenshot this because I have no idea what she did. And I know slow mo reels tutorials are great, but it's the same thing. It's a slow mo. You're not stopping to explain, and that's what these videos are all about. Like we're stopping music, we're
Mm-hmm.
stopping everything. Go back, let me explain, and then you can feel and do it again. Do it again. They're only 40 minutes, so you should be able to, go
So
back.
that is something we're gonna look forward to in 2024.
Yes, hopefully 2024. I really would love to finish this year with it as a surprise, but it's been hard managing work, kids. I'm a mom of 2 boys,
Right.
crazy boys, which they love to do all the activities. So what I know what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are, and I totally like it's not I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like I'm not good at websites, and I'm really good at jumping, and I love doing dance ropes, and I love dancing. I'm not good at website. I'm not good at logistics or disclaimers. I know since it's like a health or healthy um, class, like health cardio, I have to add another disclaimer, another things that needs to be involved that I know nothing about. So I'm like, I'm gonna let you guys work on it. So I
Right.
don't have to work on it because I have no clue what I'm doing, and I don't want to be, you know, having any issues or a person like falling down on a video and then coming up at me because I did something. So I'm like, you work on it, I'll work on my dance rope in the meantime.
Right. So, couple rapid fire questions. Favorite genre of music to dance to?
Oh, old school hip hop. Old school, I say old school because we're 36 now, but like 90s.
Right, 90s.
Yeah,
Um,
all about Nelly.
Favorite Mick release trick?
Oh, the behind the back mamba.
I
Well,
still,
does that count as a mic release? It
yeah,
starts
yeah.
as a mic release.
I,
Okay.
yeah, I count it as a Mick. I still haven't got that one down yet.
I need to do a tutorial. A lot of people ask me about it, and actually, I was surprised. If Dan, if you're watching this, I was surprised that Dan went over at the meetup and he's like, "Can you show me?" I was like, "You should got this on the back. Like you are so like he does a lot of tricks." Jumpman Dan,
Right,
and he's like, "No, it's just." And it's the thing is, we it looks harder than what it is. It's have you ever tried the? You probably did, and I probably seen you the squeeze. You probably
the
the squeeze, like the one where you're like wrap
yes,
yourself like a ninja. Okay. So I think that trick, everyone wants to know how it works. Nobody know how it works. You show it once and then the other people can do it. I swear. Like every time we're in a jump meetup, we're like, yeah, you go like this and just like open your arm and allow the rope to pass and go like this. And they're like, oh, that's it? Like that's the all the reactions we get. Like, that's it? We're like, yeah. So I think that behind the back mamba, we're giving it too much credit. Like I think the main thing that I need to do on that tutorial, but the main thing or the main tip is just working on like narrow releases versus wide. Like I like to go narrow and then throw it wide on the back because it allows more space.
right,
And I just basically tug like the whole whippy thing. It does it on its own now, but like whenever I was drilling, I would just like whip it so that I could feel that kind of like box movement. And I honestly like there's some things that I did. I don't do it now, but I used to do. So I'll do a tutorial. I love it. It's my favorite release for sure. The behind the back.
so there's two like up in the air moves that you do.
Uh-huh.
I technically don't know the name of it, but one of them is like you in like your body is like in a C position,
Uh-huh.
and you got one rope under you and one rope above you, kind of like going in the same direction.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So that one is actually funny because whenever I did that, I thought I created a new trick. I was like, this is gonna be the Barbara. Like this could be the Barbara trick. I am done. Like that's it. That's me. People, the Barbara. This is the Barbara jump. And I knew that this jump world exists thanks to the competitive jumpers. So I reached out to Nate, which he was so appreciative. I said, "Hey, I reached because I felt like so
Right,
good, right? That I was like, this was a new trick for sure." So I said, "Hey, Nate, just wanted to let you know that I reached to the National Jump Rope organization, like the website, asking if I could name this trick because I'm totally positive I created this new trick and I
right,
want to call it Barbara, like the BE, the Barbara Eden jump."
yeah,
And he was really nice. He was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for trying to do the right way, like going to the National Jump Organization and doing this instead of like just naming it." He's like, "But unfortunately, it's a stylized jump, or people call it the bubble jump, the horizontal or the bubble jump. But it's on the genre of stylized jumps. Like it's already a jump, and it's a horizontal one because your arm, like the rope goes horizontally."
mm-hmm.
It's like, but it already has a name. I'm like, damn it. Okay, I'll find another one.
And so the next one is you kind of like you like this way.
the arch to the back.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, let me tell you, that is actually from dance, and that I think I want to say Nick's wife, Kaylee, was the one that named it. I may be wrong, can't remember. But that actually comes from way more from the dance world. That's actually a C jump from because it looks like an inverted C
Right.
from the dance world, and you can do barrel with it, so you can kind of like twist it or just make a C form, and it's the C jump. So I whenever I was doing regular jumps and I started into the double under, and I'm talking about like still 2020, I was like, what if I can CC out of it? Like, what if I can do a C while doing a double under? And whenever that click, I was like, I invented a new jump. This is gonna be that was the BE 1.0. The bubble jump was the BE 2.0. And I
Right.
was like, this is, oh my God, this is my new profile picture. This is the new jump. This is something that this is a milestone. And um, I think I put on my Insta stories like, guys, did I just invented a new jump? And I think people started commenting like, I think that's called, again, it's a stylized type of jump, and it's a C jump. So those are actually the bubble jump or slash horizontal jump, and the C jump are my favorite. Like those are my favorite big jumps for sure. Which I thought I invented, but I didn't.
Yeah, I done had that moments when I thought I'd invented something, but nah, nah.
We
So
always have that moment, right, where we're like, did I totally just invent a new move? And it's like, it already exists.
yeah, it's already as if somebody beat me to the punch by like 10 years.
It's when you have new ideas, Larry, and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna like save the world. Like what? Like you got your ideas on the shower and you're like, nobody has thought of this. And then you
Right.
Google it and it's like,
Yep. No, too late. Somebody beat you to the punch. Yeah, I had plenty of those moments. Then I just like, you know what? Forget it.
exactly.
No more inventing stuff or trying to invent stuff anyway.
What is your favorite move?
Um, I I don't know. I done a lot of them so far. And then
I know which one is. Can I tell yours? I
sure.
think is your what is it called? I forgot. I think your I love how you do your like turns in a double under version. I actually don't do those. And
Oh, okay.
one, remember there was one that I was trying to do, and you actually told me how to do it. Oh my God, KNAL. I can't remember. It was a double under that you side cross and open like while you're turning.
Oh, it's
What was it
so
called?
it's a version of a EK.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love when you do those type of like double like turns with double unders. I'm not comfortable on doing those, and I always thought like that looks so good.
Yeah, I you know what kind of think about I do like doing like the EK switch where I turn into a cross and switch it coming back around. Um
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you start side, so you do open cross or cross open.
well so when I start my turn, I turn into the cross so I kind of cross backwards, right? And then when
Oh,
I'm coming back around, I switch hands position and cross again
you do
coming
a
back to the
switch
front.
cross in the air while turning. See, that's so impressive. Like that's so so cool. I may try it now.
And then
I'm failing.
as we talking, that's one of the things that I thought I invented. Those
It
because
sounds it sounds really cool. Like it sounds like a new. I'll take it. I'll say you invented it. I don't care.
nah, somebody beat me to the punch.
The
Um,
EK switch.
so yesterday during training, when I was trying to do my little gymnastic muscle up training, um, somebody sent me a video of Evan Meek doing like an open KN double, like the cross behind your back,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah. Yes,
I
yes.
didn't. I knew it was a KN, but I didn't know it was a KN. But
I think
I
they call it the
understood.
flamingo. I think they call it the flamingo as well, right? Is the one that is like the
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. I know the name officially, but I understood the movement just by looking at it. And I was
Huh?
like, maybe I think I could do this. Like, and that's one of the things I would have never have thought of before in my life. A KN and a double underfoot. So I unlocked that yesterday, and that was pretty cool. But I just don't know how I would incorporate that into a routine.
To routine. I think it's kind of cool, and we go circle back to being so versatile. Like if that's that's why jump rope is not boring for us,
Right.
because it's like there's so many variations of it. Like you can do my favorite leg cross move is the elephant, forwards or backwards. I love it, and believe me, elephant. I don't know. I did it probably in 2021. To this day, I'm still learning variations of the elephant. Like you can do like an elephant double under. You can do an elephant like a multiple. I was trying a multiple. It hurts so bad because you hit your back so bad. But I'm like, you can do so many variations out of a single trick, and that's what makes it so versatile. And at the end of the day, you're there for 2 hours because you're trying to do something that you didn't do before. Like that mind blows me. Like you haven't tried all the tricks yet and you've
R-
been in this journey for 3 years. You know what I mean?
Right. So yeah, like I think the most difficult elephant trick I tried, and I get it from time to time, was like an elephant into like a step through,
Oh,
mic release.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of
See, there's things that I remember whenever I started this, I actually downloaded the Trictionary and put
right.
it on my notes with the links. And I was just like clicking one by one and checking the box. For me, if I do it more than 3 times, I unlock it. If it was a lucky first, I don't count it as an unlock. It was a lucky move. So I remember like I was doing it, but that list is so short from what you can do now. You know what I mean? Like from
Right.
all the variations of it and the new ones, like the JJ release, the one that you go back and kind of like in a shoulder.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah, it was what's his name? I forgot. The two J's. It was like
Yeah, I know you talking about. I
boys.
haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't seen them in Jeffro and oh my god, the other guy, which I love him. Anyways, he the JJ release, like the Archer release from Only Juan and Alex, like all the things that you just get variations of it. And again, they're variations, like kind of like the hummingbird. The hummingbird is an EB swing, wrap on wrap back. Like it's
In a quiet though. That's a
in a
quiet.
quad though. That's why they
Yeah.
call it hummingbird. So it's kind of like everything, and I think Coach Chris said this, like every move you do comes from a fundamental move, which is kind of cool. Like any variation will come from a fundamental competing move. Even the side, like we call it southpaws because of the movie, but at the end of the day, it's a side swing
Right.
or
A
multiple.
swing open or something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool to know that to this day, I still haven't tried all the tricks. I'm never gonna try the kamikaze or those type of the death. There's one I think it's called death, hell, or something. Like,
Nah, I'm cool on that one.
yeah, no, like I know my limits, but I know that I still want to try more than what I've tried in this past 3 years.
Like I'm comfortable of doing push-ups variation, but I'm
Oh,
scared to do the frog.
oh, really? Okay, I'm the other way around. Like I will do the frog all the time. Push-ups, I'm so scared of them. Like I think I'm so my legs are so back. Like
Yeah.
to come back into one, please. I don't know.
So, before we get off here, do you want to drop a positive gem to the community?
Ooh, yes. Um, I think at the end of the day, the most important thing about your own session, because we're talking about this is your own journey, right? Like this is not my journey. I know you want to try things that other people do, but at the end of the day, this is your journey. It's just have fun. It sounds so corny, but I swear, if you're in that like like mindful peace, endorphins are high, and you're having fun, you are still drilling, you are still like doing your work, you're still doing your homework. It's just that you're having fun. So one of the things that I like to do is oh, I haven't done this in a while, I should do it again, but I used to do like try to land a trick, a big trick, whichever. If you land it, you do three of your most favorite things. So my favorite thing at the time was the southpaws. I just love how they look and like the bounding steps, kind of like Kathy. So if
Mm-hmm.
I landed an elephant, I would do like three of them, like, and it would just keep me high. And then I try it again. If I fail, I don't do them. I don't get to, it's kind of like a treat. Like I don't get to get my treat if I don't nail this. If I
Right.
nail this, I get to do three of my best. So for me, I guess always be positive, always have fun, always reach out. Like I feel like a lot of people used to do this back in COVID. They will
Right.
send me videos of them trying it and see, and I will like slow it down, screenshot it, and tell them, because at the end of the day, rope is also physics. It's definitely physics. Like if
Yes.
that rope is not high enough and it's not passing your body, it's not happening. If you drill it 1,000 times, it's not happening. So I will look at the videos and be like, okay, try and push your, right arm a little bit farther. Try and do this. So keep it close, and I don't know, reach out, reach out. We're a community, and that's what how it started, I guess. So yeah, that's just have fun and reach out for sure.
Right.
And my words of advice.
I peeps, there you have it. You got Miss Barbara, aka Rope Jumpers, bringing you style, fitness, flavor, creativity, and everything you expect that we do as jump rope athletes in the community. If you enjoyed this podcast, drop a comment below, drop bars from love, um, and just look forward to what she got coming in 2024. Expect more podcasts coming soon, and we're just gonna keep it coming. So, peace, everybody.
Thank you, Larry. It was so much fun.
Yep. Stay on right quick, Bob.